Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you an application that we developed in-house called RSMobile. RSMobile is an application that will be able to help you control your entire sales force. It will also give us indicators of success and efficiency. We're going to have this information, which is most important, completely synchronized with SAP ERP. It is made up of a web platform, which is the one I'm showing you, for administration, and an Android application for sales operations, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. Right, so I'm going to log in here to the platform. The platform is administrative. This is where we're going to find the different types of reports, as I mentioned, on success and efficiency, and we are going to be able to schedule user routes.
But before, let's take a look at the users module. Here we can see every user that has been created. First thing we need to do when creating a user is assign a role. We'll talk about that in just a second. Next, we need to link the SAP employee to this account. All SAP employees come directly from SAP. We then type a user, in this case RSG 001, and add an email. And here at the bottom, we can configure the type of documents this user can create. The naming scheme it will use, in this case, the prefix will be RSG 001, and we'll have 5 digits after that. Also, all sell orders will be sent to warehouse 01. If we wish to create another document type, all we have to do is select the document type, set up the prefix, the amount of digits it will have, and where the sell order will arrive, in which warehouse. And lastly, the series in case series are assigned. It is also important we configure a branch in SAP. The branch is received from the employee master data. In this case, for example, the supervisor is already registered in SAP in the employee master data, so each employee comes with an assigned supervisor. Now, let's take a look at the roles module. We can create the roles we need simply by clicking Create Role. Here, we enable all the permissions or features that we require. We currently have 2 types of licenses, Web Platform and Mobile Pre-Sale. The last one is currently in development. Depending on the selected license, permissions or features available will change. Now, for example, I'll focus on the Pre-Sale role. This role, called Pre-Sale, has a license type Mobile Pre-Sale, which can log into the Android application. I'll go over some of the most important permissions, like changing the payment condition has 2 options. The first is client and cash payment, which allows the user to change between the client default payment condition or the cash payment. The second option shows the user all the payment conditions the client has. This option is rarely used. We mostly allow them to change between the client's default payment condition, that might be 30 days, 15 days, 7 days, to cash payment. Show price with tax or without tax. Edit a document after it's been printed. We also have a feature where you can connect certain printers like Zebra, X-Tac, Blue Bamboo to your device via Bluetooth and print out the sales order. Auto-save sell orders after a few lines, in this case after 3 lines. So once the user has selected 3 or more products within a sell order, it is automatically saved. Delete sell orders without authorization. Being able to modify prices, modify discounts. If able to modify discounts, set a minimum and maximum value. Validate existence, which means the users can add product if there is no stock. Print a document after it's created. Synchronize after document has been created. Able to change sell order due dates, how the unit of measure is shown, show images, how the image will be downloaded, always, only when synchronized or on demand. If there are fixed assets in your ERP, whether to show them in the application or not.
In the Visits tabs, the most important ones are Allow Visit Off-Road. We work with routes, which we'll get into in a moment. But here we can decide if the user can visit clients that are not in his current route and how many visits he can make. If this permission is disabled, the user will not be able to visit other clients off-road.
block visits from clients that don't have GPS coordinates. This means that if a client is not geolocated, the visit cannot be initiated. I'll show you in just a moment. Another important one, if not the most important, is distance. Since we use geolocation, we obtain the latitude and longitude of the client and the user. Every time we initiate a visit, we save all the information to SAP ERP for further use. That is how the application works, and will help to verify that the user visits the client at his exact location. These are some of the most important features. We can also create clients, and within clients, edit their location. We can create a client or a lead depending on what we need and do this from the application. We also have portfolios. In this case, we don't have any configured, but it is used. For example, I don't want my salesman to see all the products master data available for sale. I only want to show them some of the products, only the ones I have segmented and added to the portfolio. Right, so that was roles. As I mentioned before, we work with routes. How the application works is each user has a route assigned to them. For example, in this case, the user Alvaro Petrovich has a route code, a route description, the number of days the route will last. We recommend that it's at least 1 day, so that in some reports I'm going to show you, we can measure their effectiveness and success. And these are the clients assigned to this route. If I wish to add another client, all I must do is click enter to get all the clients, or search by client code or client name. I can then add to my route by selecting the client and clicking the horizontal arrows. I can also modify the order by selecting the client and clicking the vertical arrows. Now, in the list of clients, as you can see, some codes are repeated, like C23900. This doesn't mean the client is repeated. If we hover over the client, we can see it's the same one, but this client has 2 delivery addresses. We can also order them by distance using the optimal route feature. What the application does is it takes all the clients we have and sets the most optimal route we can take to visit each client. If we are responsible for covering fuel cost, this will help us save fuel since vendors will be taking a better route. This will help in terms of time since routes will be more efficient, allowing users to determine if another client can be added to the route due to saved up time. We did not develop this API. We use Google Maps API. So Google Maps is responsible for ordering our clients. These are our routes. It is like a template to the day-to-day operations of each user. However, we have a module called Operational Route. And this operational route is where we assign the created routes to each user. All we must do is drag and drop the route to any date we want. In case we do not work on Fridays, for example, we can add many routes into Thursday and have all those clients added into a single route. In any case we have already assigned our routes, we can also edit the clients just for that day. So instead of having 7 clients, we would just have 6. If a client has already notified the vendor he doesn't require a visit, this will help us not harm the vendor's effectiveness and success reports. The ones that are in blue mean that the route was started at some point. The ones that are in gray have not been initiated yet. I can also add a route here. This down arrow allows us to duplicate the routes to another week. I'll fill in this day and duplicate all 5 days to next week. Now, let's go to the Android device. As I mentioned before, we only work with Android devices. We do not work with iOS since it would be too expensive to give all vendors Apple devices. Right. Here, it's requesting us to do the initial synchronization of all the catalogs as vendors. This synchronization will allow us to work offline. The app does not need to be 100% online. It has finished downloading all the information on clients, products, prices, units of measure, discounts. All the information that is mentioned here has already been downloaded into the application. We initiate the route. Here, at the top, it tells us 06 clients. Thought I had a client without geolocation. Let me fix that. Also, you can see how quickly we can add clients to a route. Let's sync routes again, and the client is added to the route. As you can see, we get a message in red saying the client has no coordinates. But as you can see, it is very easy to add clients to our current route. So, this is a list of clients that the user has to visit today. And here we have our visit map. In the map, it will mark all the visits we have scheduled for a specific day. These are all the clients I have scheduled for today. Something else this helps us with is if a seasoned vendor has to take a day off, we can have a newer vendor get to each client location, check prices, look for products, check discounts. Let's return to route. And if, for example, I don't know the location of the client, we click on the map icon and it opens the map with the client location. This one's too close. Let's get another one. If I don't know how to get there, all I have to do is click on the marker, and at the bottom right, click on the directions icon, and from there, Google Maps will tell us how to get there. All we do is pass the longitude and latitude to Google Maps, and from there, it takes care of the rest. As you can see, we can't initiate a visit when clients haven't been geolocated. What I would have to do is click on Client Detail, and at the bottom we'll find longitude and latitude as well as the map icon. All we must do is click on the map, wait for it to find us, and save the location. Now that the client has been geolocated, we can initiate a visit. Let's start a visit with this client called Andreas Ackerman. He doesn't have a credit limit, doesn't have a balance. This is the client code, the branch, the payment condition for 30 days. I'm 1.7 meters away from the client. I confirm I'm there. It captures the coordinates, and I have a few options. Create a sell order, take a photo, or finish the visit. Now let's create a sell order. This is the document number. Its sell order number is 45, and it's from RSG 001. I haven't added any products. My total is 0. I'm taking product from warehouse 01. I can change the sell order due date. I can change the payment condition, only to cash payment in this case. I can write comments that will be sent to SAP. And here I can find products by code description. For example, I search for A000. It returns all the products that fit that search. We can also look at the photo of the product. This photo is in the product's master data in SAP. We click on the product. We can see that there are 866 boxes. Each one costs 75.4 pesos with tax. We can add them here, and it tells me that it's 754 pesos with tax, and we add it. Let us find another product. Here there are 334 pieces. If I'm asked for a lot of pieces, I can just write in the amount. Doesn't have to go in one by one. And here are both products. I can also check for promotions. In this case, there are none. If we want to delete a product from the list, we just have to select the product and delete it by pressing the trash bin, or decrease the amount directly from each line. Now we have 2 products for a total of 8,904,589 that I would have to collect. We can save this sell order right now. There we go. I have saved it locally on the device. If there was any type of internet problem, the server was down or not available, I wouldn't be able to send it. Right now I'm going to try to send it, and if the SAP server is available, it will return a success, also with the order ID that was generated within the ERP. For example, here it returned success on generating the order, and it returned ID 781 from the ERP. It returns us to the visit screen, and we can see that we have created an order. This is the RSMobile ID, and this is the ERP ID, and the status is in SAP. Now we can finish the visit correctly. We can see that the client now has a check, and at the top it marks 1 out of 8 clients. Now let's go into another client. Let's just say I don't sell them anything. So here I would just have to confirm my position. I'm 2 kilometers from the client. I'm going to take a photo, which is one of the features within the application. We must take at least 1 photo. An important thing to note is that the user is not allowed to grab images from the gallery, so it has to be taken in the moment. After we take the photo, we can classify it. We save it, and it asks us if we want to send it. In this case, we will. This image will not be sent to the ERP. It will only be sent to our platform. Now let's close the visit. In this case, it warns us that we haven't created any order. We accept. Now it requests a reason why we didn't sell anything. In this case, we'll select that the client had no money. We can also add an additional comment, and we finish the visit. Now our screen updated to 2 out of 8 clients. Also, we can see that instead of a check, it has an X, since we didn't sell anything to this client. Some of our clients don't use RSMobile for sales. Since they offer services, they use it to verify their workers visit the client, since we do report the time the user spends with the client and their current location. So now let's sync routes. And when we return to the platform, we go to reports and can query the effectiveness report for today. And here we have Alvaro Petrovic that has 8 clients total, that has a success rate of 12.5% and an efficiency of 25%, sold 8.9 million in product, has 2 visits, and had only 1 visit with a sell. Now here we have something important. Now what you see here on the right, this is the information from my visits, and this is our measurements of our visits off route. Now, what is an off-road visit for us? Let's say Juan Perez reached out to me once again, or had a client that I didn't have to visit today. I could go here to clients, search for the client. It says here I have no visits off route. So here I'm going to confirm that I'm going to make a visit off route. I can generate a sell order or just check some products for the client. Here we'll generate a sell order. Here it is, saved but not sent. I can finish my visit, and now when I go back to my routes, I can sync my routes. And let's go back to the platform and see how the off-route statistics were updated. So here we have our off-route visit with 1 sell, and we have a 100% success rate. Here we have a 12.5% success rate, but that stayed the same since this rate is from our original route, and over here we have a success rate of 22.2%. But that is because we take into account all the clients, even the off-route ones. So we have 9, and in our original route we had 8. That's how we visualize the effectiveness report. We can also export this report to an Excel or PDF. We also have a visits report. It shows us the details of every visit. So here it's telling us that Alvaro Petrovic started the visit at 1:17, finished at 1:21, and lasted a little over 3 minutes. Was at a distance of 2 meters, and he did make a sell. The coordinates are only shown to me since I'm an administrator. For example, This visit lasted a minute, was 2 kilometers away, and didn't make a sell. If I wanted to see where he was, I just click on the visit ID and it'll show us a map with the client and user location. So if I wanted to see where he was, I can. In this case, we see that in this visit, the GPS marker was very close, about 2 meters away, so we can assume the user went to the client's location. That is how we can visualize this report. We can also download it as an Excel or a PDF. The last report is the operations report. What it shows us is the start of the route, when he did his first visit, when he did his last visit. In this case, he hasn't finished his route, that's why there's nothing here. How much time he has spent en route till now, and we'll get the final value once the route is finished. Also, the number of clients and how many clients we have visited. This report is also downloadable as Excel or PDF. These are all the features you will obtain with RSMobile, which is an application that will allow more control over what your sales force is really doing. This is part of what we wanted to show you so you could get more familiar with this tool created by RedSinergia called RSMobile. Thank you.